I'm going to get straight to the point. Oswell E. Spencer was an absolutely horrible and remorseless person. He had no problem with sacrificing people for his own gains and his ambition of becoming a god among humans. Therefore, this effort for atonement and adopting grace makes very little sense to me. The best way to look at this is to see what he did to the family of the man who built his mansion in the Arklay Mountains. I do have a video on the lore of this, by the way, on my channel here. Now back to the subject. Oswell E. Spencer was a fan of an architect called George Trevor and commissioned his firm to build the infamous Spencer Mansion in the original RE1. As you know, the mansion had a lot of secrets and George was the only other person who knew them in detail. So according to Oswell, George needed to die. To do this, he invites his family over for dinner, but George is busy with paperwork, so he sends his daughter and wife ahead and wishes to join them later. Guess what happens to them? Upon arrival, they are kidnapped and taken to the underground lab to be used as lab rats or experimental subjects. The mother does not respond well to the experiments, so she dies slowly and painfully before being disposed of. Lisa, however, is experimented on for years with all sorts of viruses and turns into an indestructible monster forever looking for her mother. After George finishes his paperwork, he comes to the Spencer mansion and Oswell pretends everything is fine and that his daughter and wife are not there as they went to visit George's aunt in hospital. He then has George kidnapped after a week of him worrying and he makes him a test subject for the mansion's traps, leading to George getting stuck and starving to death. So it makes no sense for somebody this psychopathic to suddenly change like this. I think he's trolling. Umbrella went out of his control and some men became superhuman, something he couldn't attain. He made it look like Elpis was a superweapon, that it was actually a cure that makes mutated people like Wesker lose their power. This makes more sense to me, otherwise it would just be super lazy story writing. Did he not feel any remorse doing that to his family, their daughter, the mother, and torturing the father and using him as another test subject for the underground traps of his mansion? What do you think about this? Tell me in the comments. Discussing fan theory is a great time.